Hey guys, OG Albina here, bringing you guys SPL draft notes for Semifinals, the show about everything and anything SPL related. If you guys are excited for this episode of Draft Notes, the second to last one, be sure to drop a like on the video as well as subscribe to the channel. We are on our way to 5K, and if you want to help me out on my journey, I'd really appreciate it. I have a ton of draft league content of my own going up at all times. We have semifinals for BBR also going up. It's a battle of my own tomorrow, so you go ahead and check that out if you'd like. And yeah, that being said, really quickly, let's take a look at last week's results. Only got 4 games to go over. Also, big shouts to CB Markets this whole season for putting in a ton of work with the graphics and helping me out a ton. But you can see in our first matchup, we had a huge upset. Gator versus Chimpact, in which Chimpact knocking off the undefeated Gator in a very, very nice 3-0 victory. Able to use his pivots in Pokemon like Ogerpon Wellspring incredibly well, grabbing himself a 3-0 victory. On the topic of upsets, Joey 6-2. It looks like that is backwards. Joey didn't win this game for. He actually ended up losing this one. Leo upsetting Joey, moving on to semifinals off the back of Pokemon like Cinccino, putting in a ton of work in this one. So big congrats to Leo for moving on. Then we have Emvee versus Playmore in an incredibly close one. Flygon clutching up in the end game there for Emvee, allowing him to pick up a nice 1-0 victory, moving on to semifinals where he'll play Leo. And then as for Chimpact's opponent, we have Uzi beating Shady in a 2-0 victory. Banded Dragapult putting in a ton of work, was able to really whittle down that thing, that Grimmsnarl, and kind of open up its own endgame for itself to where when that thing was gone, it was kind of just Pult City. So yeah, that being said, let's go ahead and jump into our first matchup. As for our first matchup, we have Uzi versus Chimpact in this one. Now, as for Uzi's side, we're always going to mention Pult because Pult's the best Pokemon in the format. We got to mention how good it is. And even in the matchup where you see it playing into really fat balanced cores in a Pokemon like Tinglu, which typically will check it really well, I think like Dragapult still has a lot of viability in this game. In particular, I think the best set he could probably be here is that mixed Wisp set with Dragon Darts, Hex, Will-O-Wisp, and U-Turn, able to kind of U-turn around, Willow Hex things down, things like the Tinglu, things like the Iron Hands, getting a Wisp on that guy is really incredible. You could also be Shadow Ball just for consistent damage, but I think you definitely want Wisp in general for that Tinglu to really whittle it down. And then you could Dragon Darts through things like Torn, through things like Dragonite, things of the sort, things like Ogerpon that have pretty good, SPL, things like that. So honestly, really strong in this matchup. I think that Chiyu, for similar reasons, is really strong because of the fact that Tinglu is either going to be stressed for checking Tinglu, or it's going to be stressed for checking the Dragapult. If Dragapult can force in that Tinglu, get a burn, Wisp it, from there, Dark Pulse is super free. Something like Hands isn't going to be able to come in on an overheat, and really, your only fire resists are going to be the likes of Dragonite and Arcanine, so it's not like fire moves are hard to click either. I think that Chiyu can do a ton of damage in this matchup if Pult is used aggressively and early. I can also see a Fizdef Foul Play Persian doing some work. It really helps out with that D-Knight, which can get out of hand pretty quickly, as well as checking that Arcanine, which is really scary in this matchup, and something like Referum. So using that guy defensively here as a parting shot pivot, foul play spreader could be really clutch. I think that Iron Treads is really strong here. It typically always is. I mean, think Excadrill Stabs, but a Pokemon that has more coverage, just a little bit less power. Really does look incredibly powerful here, especially with covers like Ice Spinner and things of the sort. Could definitely put in a lot of work in this matchup. I think that Azu is really strong here. I personally like Banded a ton. I think you can lead Band early and pick a KO really early on and get a really nice trade. Something like Ogerpon is going to be the only water immunity and really the only water switching on this team. So you catch the thing with the Banded player off. If it's offensive, it's gonna die, like, from full, which is really nice. And then from there, you can kind of just click Liquidation. I guess there also is a D-Knight, but to be seen. It's also really nice to have Aqua Jet Revenge for things like Arcanine and for things like Reverum, which are a big problem in this matchup. Oh, excuse me. And then as for Terra Captains, I think that there's some room for like a Terra Fighting Articuno, some kind of setup set. Again, another Pokemon that can force a lot of damage on Tinglu, which is always going to be great. Now, as for Chimpact's side, I think that Tinglu is really bulky in this matchup and really important. Obviously, we mentioned it checking Pult and Chiyu. Something that I think that Chimp can do to kind of get around being worn down and burned the whole game is going to be a Rest Talk variant. I think you need EQ, and you can either go Throat Chop, Ruination, Rock Slide, probably just Throat Chop though if I had to guess, and you can kind of just sit there the whole game. The only thing that's really going to be able to take advantage of you is something like Azumarill, something like Okie Dokie, but Okie Dokie and Azumarill don't really want to switch in on you. So from there, you'll be in a pretty good spot as long as you avoid taunts from like Persian and things of the sort. So that's obviously really nice. I think that Hands is incredibly strong. Something like Deoxys is always going to be a little bit scary of a check, but if we can deal with that early or just kind of designate the rest of our team to kind of check that guy, I think an SD variant can put in a lot of work here, or just an Assault Vest variant and kind of Volt Switch around until that Dio is out of the way or in range of a Thunder Punch, and then you just go ham from there. I think Torn is really good. It just needs to hit its moves. That's the main thing with Torn. Whether it be a stall breaking set or really be an offensive variant. If something like that Rotom Fan doesn't come, there's not great flying plus fire resist on this team, which means it can put in a ton of work. I also think that Reverum can really shift gear up and win. It's got to get some chip and has a little bit of 4 moveset syndrome, but it's still definitely strong for sure. Ogerpon also looks great. It U-turns around on the Shaman, and other than that, dual stabs are pretty much unresisted. You also have the Pult, but you can also spike in this matchup with the Ogerpon pretty freely, and then Scarf Arcanine just kind of picks KOs pretty darn easy. Now, as for the winner of this matchup, I am going to go Uzi. I think that the hazard potential that he has, plus the momentum core of like Dragapult, and then Pokemon like Chiyu and Treads offensively, and again, Parting Shot Persian, Bandazuma, I think he just puts on a ton of pressure, and I think Chimp's team is a little too balance oriented to kind of keep up with the offense that Uzi has into him, so we are going to take Uzi in this one. Next up, we have Emvee versus Leo. Now, from Emvee's side, I think that Annihilate is really annoying in this game. I think the main thing that it offers here is just a bulky sponge in general for the likes of Manaphy, for the likes of Iron Bundle. You always take a hit, deal with it, checking Cinccino, but especially stopping that Iron Tusk, or that Great Tusk Cheezo from spinning in this matchup. I think that hazards are going to be really important and plentiful from Emvee's side. And really the only way that Leo has to get rid of, or the only way that Leo has to get rid of them, is going to be that Great Tusk. And if we're rocking out with our Annihilate as our initial pivot, I think it's going to be really difficult. Something that I think could be really viable from Emvee's side is going to be an Air Balloon variant, because you'll be immune to Spin, you'll be immune to CC, you'll be immune to Headlong Rush. And if there's no knock, or he doesn't click knock coming in, you're going to just completely hardball the thing. And if he does click knock coming in, it's fine, because after that, you can just click Rage Fist. You get 100 base power Rage Fist already loaded up, and it's not like there's great switch-ins on this team, right? The Ghost Switch and Overcoil just gets bulked up on. Everything else takes a ton of damage from that Rage Fist. So I think that Annihilate is really nice in this matchup. I think that Raging Bull is also great here. I think that last matchup there was a cool Scarf set that ended up catching Leo off guard. I think that's definitely a viable possibility in this matchup. But I also think the likes of Assault Vest could be really solid. It's a great Zapdos check. It always lists one from Bundle. It's a great Manaphy check. And it's a check to something like Ogerpon. Obviously, something like Play Rough at +2 is going to nuke you. But from neutral, you'll always take a Play Rough. You could even go what's the Fairy Berry? Roselli Berry to check that thing a little bit better, which could be nice. I think Girafarig is okay in this matchup. Obviously, something like an Ability Shield variant for like Ogerpon with Terra Water could be a viable option. Obviously, being able to keep it Sap Sipper, resist fire, and resist Play Rough. But honestly, I think the best Terra Mount in this matchup is going to be something like Flygon. Something we saw last time was that Fergraph being really strong offensively under Trick Room. I think that a Terra Normal set from Emvee could be really powerful here with Boom Burst, especially because the only normal switch-ins and something like the Gigaton guy, the Tinkaton, don't appreciate Earth Power. And beyond that, I mean, Boom Burst is unresisted. We saw him bring Scarf before against Nexus. I think this is a potentially very viable matchup for that once again. I think that Empoleon is really important here. We mentioned it last time, but like Spit F Empo is just such a good hard check to things like Iron Bundle and Manaphy that Leo hasn't seen. The double offense Water Core is super stuffed by Empoleon, which is great. I think that a setup Mew is potentially really viable, whether it be a Nasty Ball variant, whether it be a Dragon Dance variant, a Swords Dance variant, some kind of setup set actually does pretty well. And then if you are worried about opposing hazards from things like Overcoil, you can always go Toad Scroll, but I think that a 6 slot is likely to be something like a Weavile, something like a Farigiraf, something like a Cleavor even, to get up rocks and be a strong Revenger to Zapdos, which could be a big problem. Now, as for Leo's side, I think that Ogerpon is incredibly strong. Dual Stats plus Play Rough is just unguardable. Personally, I wouldn't go a Swords Dance variant in this game. I would just go a Trailblaze variant, Get the chip that you need. Make sure the Furgraph isn't some funny ability shield shenanigans with Terra Water. And from there, once you get that Biggie Bolter in range and a couple guys chip, you could Trailblaze up and just win the game. Like, straight up. That simple in this matchup. So, I really do like Ogerpon a lot. I think that Great Tusk is always going to be very strong. Again, if that Annihilate is not a balloon variant, while it does want to come in and block you from spinning, it's not going to block a headlong rush to the face. And while you might be boosting up that Rage Fist, you got to do damage to it eventually, and you might just 2-hit KO it. You could even go with a potentially like a Scarf variant to catch that thing off guard. If you catch it with 2, headlong rushes, you'll be able to 2-hit KO it, not have to take that Rage Fist. That could always be really, really nice. I think that Zapdos is really, really annoying as well. It's going to check Pokemon like traditional Flygon sets. It's going to check Annihilate and things like that. But Aimel really, really wanted me to mention Charge Zapdos is viable in this matchup. I didn't see it personally, but he told me. He said, Owen, it's the truth. But he said it in a French accent, so I was like, oh, shit. He must be telling the truth. But Zapdos is always going to be annoying. Could be a solid pivot. And honestly, offensively, it's not bad. Outside of Bolt, it really does do a lot of work. And if you can get up Hazards, U-turn, Hurricane plus Thunderbolt is really, really, really strong in this matchup. So, yeah. I think that bundle is also going to be pretty strong in the regards of either it be boots or specs. It always forces an Empo. And we freeze dry on it. We either force it to roost or we flip turn, get into our Tusk, or get into our Ogre if that thing's in range, and just click a button. So I think that Iron Bundle is going to be a great pivot in this game. I think that Appleton is also somewhat viable. Some kind of Terra Steel set could come for the likes of Weavile, because Weavile can get pretty scary into this team otherwise. Especially if you're using Tinkaton for the likes of other Pokemon. So, something else to keep in mind. And then the main Pokemon I want to mention, I think that Nasty Plot Uxie is incredible here. Some kind of Colbur Berry variant with a Psychic Stab, Draining Kiss, and Thunderbolt for the Empo does incredibly, incredibly well. Really, the only thing that takes that on is going to be the Mew. You can go Colbur or you can go Cassib, whatever works best. But it does incredibly, incredibly well, and I think it's really, really strong in this matchup. Now, as for who's going to win here, I couldn't tell you. We're going to go ahead and jump on into our mock battle with Aimel, in which I will be Emvee, he will be Leo, and we'll go ahead, duke it out. Whoever wins that game will be the Piglins for the week. And yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it. Alrighty, here we are with the mock battle. We are here with Aimel. Do you want to say what's up? Hello?
Hello, I am back once again for the second time.
Yeah, we definitely didn't just
We
definitely didn't just completely mess up the intro. Not at all. Okay, but I think we're good to go now. We should be good to go at the very least. Not the greatest lead for your hero, though. I cannot lie to you. But we'll take the chip. Can't really stand, unfortunately.
Okay, see?
Oh, jeez. That did a ton of damage. Aimel, you psycho?
That's 4 times resistance. That's 4 times resistance.
Yeah, that did 22 damage. This Bulldoze is about to do 3 million. Oh my goodness.
Sweet KO.
Yo, where do you come from? Where do you go? Oh my goodness. Okay, thankfully though, I will say, from my perspective, what this came here for isn't here. Also, ooh, I don't like that. What is happening? I was gonna say, oh, you bulldoze me, I get a competitive boost, I'll live. And this came for things like mana. So like, it's kind of okay. Brick Break, okay. That makes a little bit more sense. Unfortunately, I get a Pokemon that is not great for me to come out. So we're gonna unfortunately have to either sack something or make a risky switch in, that's for sure.
Speaking of Bulldoze, wait, no, come on.
No, I'm floating, brother. I am floating. Okay, cool. So how can we use this to our advantage? This is a free pivot, which is why I kind of like this balloon set, because Tusk is, like, unguardable. Oh, you just you went for it. I figured there would be a pivot out.
Yep.
Not super happy about that. You get to boost up my Rage Fist, which is cool. Oh, we're trying to boost you a little bit. That's not good. Did I lose? What is this? This is a wild set. Okay.
is the first Source Dance plus spin toss.
I guess you just double danced on me. You're insane. We are Scarf though.
Yeah.
We are Scarf though. I was a little nervous. I can't lie to you. I was a little nervous. I was sweating a little bit, but that does reveal that I am Scarf though, which isn't great for me. Yeah, because I don't particularly have a great switch into this fella right here. This guy's kind of a problem, unfortunately.
Yeah. Also, for this topic, that I didn't prod for this match particularly, but I did that with Emvee was, the usual specs bundle to Force and Empoleon, or even a max HP and split death with Whirlpool to trap Empoleon.
Did it work?
Every single time it did, yes.
So, were you like Whirlpool, Taunt, Protect, Freeze Dry?
No, I was Whirlpool, Encore, Freeze Dry.
Okay, and you just like punish him for attacking you?
Also with Substitute to force him to attack me, so I can just Encore Lock to not be, flip turn out or anything.
Yeah, so what, your Whirlpool, Encore, Sub, Freeze Dry?
Yep.
Because you can't get by with just Whirlpool. That's pretty cool. Look at you.
I mean, I will be using this set with a Manaphy to lure Empoleon just to open Manaphy. But because I have Manaphy on this team, I didn't brought the bundle.
That's cool. No, that definitely makes sense, especially because like Empo is kind of the answer to both, right? Big Apple comes out, Bappleton. How am I feeling? That did absolutely nothing. A little bit of an aggressive pivot. Okay. That's definitely not great.
That hurts, but that's gonna hurt as well.
No para, no para. Whoa! I don't like that. I don't like that. I kind of needed the para. There it is. Give me a full para. Bigly. Absolutely bigly.
And besides that, I tried some kind of double dance over Quill with Agility and Source Dance. I also tried like Bandits and I'm really testing a lot of stuff. I really want to make sure. Basically, I'm offering you the best of my service.
Yeah, dude, Bandits and Chino into Ape is absolutely crazy. By the way, I think you might need to go to jail for that one, brother. I cannot lie. Well, is it? I totally forget though. Is it Terra Ghost? Like, is that an option on it?
Terra Ghost.
Okay.
It has Terra Ghost. Terra Blast.
So I'm assuming, yeah. Then you were probably Terra Ghost, or Terra Ghost, Terra Blast in that matchup, yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, that makes sense. Oop! I almost misclicked the wrong button.
And there you go. You killed this guy.
That's definitely good for you. Unfortunate for your hero, because I think I might lose. Never mind, I think I'm good.
We got Para.
Bigly,
Para
there we
again.
go. We'll take that. We will take that. Okay, +1, 150. Very nice. We will take it. Woo! The only issue is a little bit of an offensive Zapdos coming in, yeah. And I don't really have any answers.
Dead.
Yeah, there's no answers. Oh, but you're slower. I mean, I'll take that. That is beautiful for your hero. Absolutely beautiful for your hero. Yeah, that's great. Oh, and it's pressure. Really, really good information for me to know.
Pressure because of a certain set.
Yeah, I'm assuming was this a sub variant?
Hey.
It might be. I mean, I don't know if it's getting off a sub anymore, Mr. Aimel. Because I know if my ape was faster.
Right. Here comes my ogre.
Okay. Oh, I don't know if I like that. Leech is a little bit scary. I don't think I have the power to deal with Oxy Tink in the back after this. Okay, well that's good.
Nice. Nice. You reveal the Poltergeist.
Mm-hmm. Reveal all 4, but I don't think at this point that super matters. I mean, I guess it'll make the Oxy not want to come in as much, potentially, depending on the set. Though there is an issue. I was very close to going knockoff on this because I think that a super viable idea is going Cassib on this set. Not just from you, but especially for something like Annihilate. That really worries me. Okay. So, I see the OC come out. We're not gonna see leftovers. Okay, at this point, I think I just click the button.
Yeah.
On this, I wish there was another item too. I'm clear amulet in case the. Whoa, just barely. How much do my fangs do? Looks like it does enough. And I think I lock up the game unless you're Leech Seed Trailblaze, and if that's the case, you might need to go to jail. Oh my goodness, synthesis! Yo!
Wait, it's fine.
Ooh, I don't really like this, Aimel. This ain't nice.
Wait, hold on. No.
Come on, do enough. Okay, it's not necessarily enough. I need to see what does more damage, because I'm checking on a little bit of coverage on this thing.
I think I died. I have a play.
Ogre Pawn. Hearth Flame, what does more? Bump Turn or Boom Burst does way more. I have Air Slash teched on this, but there's...
Come on, yes!
No way! Is this Stab Struggle? No! No! What's the Throat Chop for? For what? No way it's for Boom Burst Flygon. That's insane, dude. Oh, I should have Air Slashed! Oh, I didn't think of that at all!
You have a hyper voicing.
That too. Yeah, and if it's like some Sap Sipper. Terrible. No, but Mold Breaker! This thing super smokes Fergrav. What the hell do you have Throat Chop for? This thing blows Fergrav up. Ah! That's tough. I guess, what do you call it? Would Ability Shield while this thing use Terra Water?
You need Ability Shield.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I had Air Slash too, but I didn't want to miss. And Boomers had a chance to kill, like, certain variants and stuff like that. Ah. Oh. This Max Spadef Leech Seed Sim. What is this set? You need to go to jail. This is super walled by fucking Bolter too. Oh my. Well, Aimel prevails 1-0 this time. And I guess we're gonna take that as
Leo's team prevailed for the second time.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah, I guess Leo is 2-0 in our team mocks. It looks like we're taking Leo in the pick'ems for this game and a close 1-0 victory over Emvee here. But we'll see how it goes in the actual match. Thank you for stopping in with me this game, Aimel.
Yeah, and of course it'll be the final after this.
Ooh, baby, next week. Alrighty, gang, that is SPL Semifinals Draft Notes. Short, sweet, and simple, I know, but we got you a little mock battle in between. I'll try and get an interview with one of the finalists next week. Let me know who you got in each of the games in the comments down below, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Later.